Hey everybody, this is George Brasher with Shakedown of Thunder Sports, and you're about to watch the two Irish brothers. Go Irish.
What is up, everybody? I am Irish Benjamin 57.
And I'm ND Sean 45.
And together we make up the two Irish brothers. And this week, Notre Dame travels to Charlottesville to take on the 6-3, which is an impressive record, Virginia Cavaliers. But before we get started, please smash that like button down below if you liked this video. Hit the subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you never miss a video. If you like all of this, you can follow us on Twitter, you can follow us on TikTok, and you can follow us on Facebook. So, moving on to the task at hand, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish take on the Virginia Cavaliers in Charlottesville. And this Virginia team is a night and day difference compared to what Notre Dame just dealt with in the Navy midshipmen.
Oh, yes, they are. Just diving right into the stats, and I'm talking team stats here, not individual stats, even though the offense here is primarily an individual stat. But you look at their passing compared to their rushing, very, very, very heavily passing team.
Yes, definitely the modern age of football for them. Like you said, their numbers are pass heavy, to say the least. Just looking at their schedule and seeing the amount of points that they put up, their lowest scoring game of the season is 17 points, and that was against Wake Forest. Their highest scoring game of the season actually came 2 weeks ago to this filming, which was 49 points against Brigham Young in Provo. But this is a team that they score points in bunches. Going through their schedule, 43, 42, 39, 17 in that loss, 30, 34, 48, 48, 49. So literally the last three games, they're averaging almost 50 points.
They're a point factory,
which is crazy.
They're a point factory. What more do you need to say?
And yeah, it's Virginia, and yeah, they're a smaller school, but I don't care if you're a small school or a big school. When you're putting up that kind of point total in games, that's crazy. And like I said, this is a night and day difference for the Notre Dame defense. You went from a team that is going to run it down your throat in Navy to a team that is going to air it out every play. I mean, every play. Doesn't matter if it's first down and 5 or if it's fourth down and 40, they're going to throw the ball.
And you still got to be ready for the run as well, because their run game is not too shabby either, but obviously not as strong as their passing game. But also, Ben, one thing that we do need to point out too, and as you guys have all figured out by now, with how Ben and I's work schedules go, we always film the preview to next week's game on Sunday after we filmed the recap for the last game. So we're filming this right after we film the Navy recap. So we all know what's been going on with Virginia's quarterback, Brennan Armstrong, who has been I don't think big's a big enough word. I think huge.
Yeah.
The huge key to their offense.
The heart and soul of that offense.
Probably likely a Heisman candidate. Would you say so, Ben?
Just numbers alone. I mean, you could make a case. Yes.
Okay. Well, regardless, we know that right now he's hurt with a rib injury. And at this point in time on Sunday night here, there's really been nothing different in his injury status. So come Wednesday or Thursday, whenever we upload this preview, he could be in the game or officially announce that he's playing in the game, or he could be ruled as out. He could be a game time decision. So as we're filming this, we don't know for sure what's going to happen. But like I said, this is the best time for us to film the preview for next week's game.
Yeah, and his injury is one of those tricky ones where it's a rib injury. Virginia's coming off a bye this week, this past week, I should say. So he basically gets almost 2 full weeks of rest, if you will, for this game. So I would say that they are hopeful that he will return for the Virginia game, or the Notre Dame game, I should say, for them. But his backup has not seen much time at all this season. His backup is Jay Woolfolk, and he has 2 completions on 6 attempts. So that is a pretty great, and you compare that to Brennan's, who has 406 attempts and 261 completions. So
yeah,
that is a quite big difference. But on the Notre Dame side of things, with injury, Kyle Hamilton is the guy that us Notre Dame fans are going, okay, is he returning? Because Brian Kelly last week, meeting with the media for the Navy game, talked about Kyle Hamilton's ankle injury and basically said that they hope that he will return for the Virginia game, and he will at least play this season at some point. So him and Armstrong, who are facing each other, are going to be interesting tidbits that we focus on throughout this week coming into this game.
Oh, of course. That's going to be an interesting matchup, from quarterback to safety. But also going back real quick to the injury front here, we're still waiting on official word for Avery Davis. That has not yet been announced at the time of filming this video. Yes. So by the time we release this, it could be announced that he's out, that he'll be miss this game at least. Who knows? But all I know is, as of this time, it's not official. But all I know has been getting right into the strategy for this game. You got to prepare. If you're Marcus Freeman in the Notre Dame defense, you have to prepare like you're going to face Brennan Armstrong.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a team that passes more than they run. Obviously, I mean, you look at just numbers alone. This is a team that passes the ball a ton, and the focus switches. Like we said, like I've said twice now. This is the 3rd time. You go from a team that runs down your throat in Navy to a team that's going to air it out every down. I mean, or potentially every down. So the defense has to step up again. I mean, I feel like we're broken records here, but this offense can really put up some points. I mean, the only team that's really slowed them down is Wake Forest. Everybody else has allowed 30 or more points. The next best team that allowed a lower point total was Miami, which was they gave up 30 points to Virginia. So that's pretty nuts. It's going to be crazy. And Kyle Hamilton if he plays, will be the difference maker. I mean, we've seen it. And I don't know. It's going to be Marcus Freeman's going to have to really earn his pay this week. Let's just say that.
Well, and overall, that secondary for Notre Dame, they're really going to have to come together, and everyone's got to be on the same page when going up against this guy. Again, assuming that it is Brennan Anderson that starts at quarterback for the Cavaliers, but you really got to gel together, and the communication has to be clear, because you got to shut this guy down or else he's going to kill you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and it's and unfortunately, we were talking about a slow start in the recap that we did with the Navy game. This is a game, man, you can't have a slow start. I'm sorry. I mean, you're behind enemy lines. You're in Charlottesville. You got a team that puts up points in a hurry, in bunches. This game, to me, this is the game that Notre Dame has to get everything going immediately, figure everything out, and make some really major improvements. Because a 6-3 Virginia team is hungry, and they're fighting for a good bowl bid themselves.
Yeah, well, the Cavaliers, they're not technically out of the hunt for the ACC championship.
No.
I don't have the stats in front of me, or the standings in front of me, but I guess I should probably bring that up. But even with Wake Forest going down yesterday to North Carolina, that ACC championship, it's still not everyone, but there's still plenty of teams for the taking involved in that.
Yeah, they're one game behind Pittsburgh in the Coastal. 4-2 conference record and overall of 6-3, and then Pittsburgh's 4-1 conference overall of 7-2. So yeah, I mean, this is a team that they have a couple things going on. Not only are you looking ahead to your bowl games and bids, you're also looking ahead to, okay, this is a game that we make a statement. This is a game that we beat for Notre Dame at home. This is a game that we take our next step. So if you're Notre Dame, you got to prepare for a major fight in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to seem like I'm out of it here, but I'm just looking at, the standings between both the Atlantic and the Coastal divisions in the ACC, and yeah, it is just complete chaos in both those divisions. I mean, hell, you have look at the freaking race in the Coastal. I mean, North Carolina's 3-3, and they're still only 2 games out. Miami, who's overall 5-4, they're 3-2, and they're still in the hunt. Virginia's a game back. So it's just complete chaos. But I think, in my opinion, the Coastal comes down to Virginia and Pittsburgh in the end, and in the Atlantic, it comes down to North Carolina State and Wake Forest. But I had to get that in there because just seeing that it's crazy. It's crazy because you think coming in, you would think that Clemson was a clear favorite, but that's not the case this year.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the Virginia side of things, Virginia ends their season in a brutal stretch. I mean, they have Notre Dame this coming weekend, and then after that, it's Pittsburgh, and then they battle Virginia Tech. And yeah, Virginia Tech's having a down year. They're 4-5. Coming into this week, but that when it's rival versus rival, if you will, anything can happen in those games. I say that no matter who. I mean, look at what happened with Alabama and LSU yesterday.
This is the stuff that makes college football really fun, especially when it's the unexpected stuff like this, like the chaos that we're seeing in the ACC. It's ridiculous, but I love it, though. I love it. But look, getting back to the task at hand for us, going back to Brennan Armstrong, not is he only the top passer on the team, but he's also, I'd say, even though he doesn't lead it in yards, he's technically their top rusher because he has on the ground 271 yards on 81 attempts and 7 touchdowns. As far as actual running backs go, their top running back is Wayne Talia-Papa. I hope I probably butchered the hell out of his last name. I've had a tendency to do that. But 290 yards on the ground for him on 55 attempts and only 2 touchdowns. And then this Caton Thompson, who's listed as a quarterback, but I think he might be a quarterback that's converted to either receiver or running back from what I'm reading here. He has 216 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. Devin Darrington, 213 yards, 2 touchdowns. But then you look at the receiving game. Dontavian Wicks, their leading wide receiver, looking to pass 1,000 yards. He'll probably do it this week against us. 972 yards and 9 touchdowns. Billy Kemp, the fourth, 562 yards and 6 touchdowns. Rashawn Henry, 493 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tight end Jelani Woods, 446 yards and 6 touchdowns. So you look down, even Caton Thompson, the quarterback convert that I mentioned, he has 663 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. So you go down the line of all their receivers, everyone who has caught a pass, they're all 450 yards or above.
Yeah.
The,
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the,
that offense
the,
just
the top
in and of
guys.
itself. Yeah,
The
I mean,
top guys it is.
the offense numbers are just insane. I mean, they're nuts. And this is what's going to not only put pressure on the defense, but on the other side of the ball, put pressure on the offense. And that's what I was keying in on a little earlier in this video was the offense has got to go fast immediately. This is not a team that you can get down by 10 points and still be okay. This is a team that you have to outscore them. They are kind of like an Alabama in a way when it comes to scoring points. The teams that beat them outscored them big time. The loss to Brigham Young, which was October 30th, 66-49 was that final score. So Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech almost got them, and that was a 48-40 victory for Virginia. I mean, and like I said, the lowest amount of points they've scored is 17, and then off of that, it's 30. So the Notre Dame offense has to go. They have to go this week. Now, granted, thankfully, Virginia gives up a lot of yards, but if that offensive line can't protect Cone this week, it could be a long day for the Fighting Irish.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with that, Ben. And that's why with with everything said, that this game is just thinking about this before we even started recording here. I'm looking at all these numbers and I'm thinking, good Lord, how am I going to make a score projection on this? It's insane because here's the thing. We're hands down, and I'm not trying to toot our own horn here, but the numbers don't lie. We're going to be the best defense that they've seen all season.
Yeah.
And I have nothing but confidence in Marcus Freeman and the players that we have because despite a couple hiccups this year, being the season opener against Florida State and the week before against North Carolina, we've actually played pretty well. I mean, our defense has been overall phenomenal this year. So yes. I have no doubt that they're going to be up for the challenge to shut down this high-powered Virginia Cavalier offense.
Yeah, and what I would love to see is the reemergence of Lindsey in this game. That's what I would love to see. That's and that's a bold prediction, and a bold hope, I guess I should say. But this Virginia team, you have to outscore them. I'm sorry, and we kind of saw what happens when you face a high-powered offense in North Carolina. I mean, Notre Dame gave up, what was that? Was it 34 points against
34 points, yes.
So, I mean, and Virginia's better than North Carolina. I mean, stats-wise, record-wise, player-wise right now. So, if Armstrong goes, Cone and company got to get it going. The good thing, like I said, though, is they give up a lot of yards. They've given up over 2,000 yards through the air and almost 2,000 yards on the ground. So they give up yards and points, but it's give and take with them. So
yeah, exactly. They put up just as many as they give up.
So I mean, the big Achilles heel for them is turnovers. Points off turnovers. Their opponents have scored 48 points to their 31 off of turnovers, which is their Achilles heel. So, I don't know. It's Kyron Williams got to get it going. Cone has to be protected. I'm sorry. This Virginia defense is going to key in on the fact that Notre Dame's line is weak.
That's a fact. You know what they're going to go after, and you nailed it, dude. You nailed it. So that part of the video has arrived, and I guess I could say it's the dreaded part for this particular one because it's just, for me, it's so hard to predict with seeing what Virginia's offense has done and then seeing what their defense has done. I guess I'm going to try to kind of approach this in a balanced kind of way. Because like I said earlier, we're going to be the best defense that they've seen all season. So I think what's going to happen is the defense is going to step up, especially having Kyle Hamilton back, assuming he is back. Because considering the fact that we don't officially know at this point in time of filming this video. So with that said, and if our offense can pick it up and get going from the start and not take a couple of series to figure something out, if we can get it going from the start and our defense can step up and find a way to shut down Brennan Anderson and company, I should say, we're going to give up some points. I'm just anticipating that right now. So I'm going to say Notre Dame wins. I'm going to say obviously I'm always going to say Notre Dame wins, but they win this game by a final score of 35-24. So you see, I'm kind of going with a balance there. Virginia's going to put up points, but I don't see them putting up the kind of numbers that they have been putting up.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Well, mine's a little more lopsided, if you will. Notre Dame 49, Virginia 21.
I like that. I
think Cone goes ham this game. Virginia has one major other Achilles heel, and that is giving up sacks. They have given up 26 sacks for 144 yards lost.
Oh, good point. That's a good point.
That is my Achilles heel for them. And if Notre Dame's defense can continue what they did against Navy, they'll give up a little bit of points, not the lowest amount that Virginia has been allowed, because 17 was their lowest. And them being at home and all. But yeah, I think it's a 49-21 victory for Notre Dame. We will see.
Absolutely. We definitely will. And, you make a good point with the sacks, because you got to try to find all those Achilles heels. And that's where I failed. I didn't look at that one. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be a hard fought game, but, Marcus Freeman has done a very good job with his defense, and, the offense, even though they've sputtered at times and had a difficult time getting it going, aside from one game, they found a way to get the job done. So, just got to keep improving on our game. So other than that, yeah, we'll also have to wait and see what happens too on Tuesday with the next round of playoff rankings. Who knows where we'll be ranked by then? And
there's going to be a little bit of a shakeup this week for sure.
Oh, definitely. And again, people were saying this at the time of us filming this video, so keep that in mind.
Yep.
So I'd like to think by now we're at least up one spot.
At least.
At least, yes. So on that note, Ben, is there anything else you have to add?
I got nothing.
All right. Well, as we always say, guys, on that note, I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
God bless, good night, and go Irish.
Go Irish. Beat Virginia.